Always such a delay before you see it in YouTube Live Studio. Someone has to actually say something before you can actually see it in Live Studio. Otherwise you're gonna just be looking like you're just sitting there and doing nothing. Anyway, this will be another test of 4K live streaming with audio and see how it'll work. Yeah, I'm just having my evening tea, a little bit of a sandwich. It's really good. So anyway, I think we got online. The connection is excellent. Concurrent viewers is 1. That's probably just me. It's usually quite lonely running these live streams. I got some people popping in and out. Nothing much happened. Well, that's okay. Yeah, so I thought I'd just have a rough topics here we could cover. Maybe I'll keep it to like a half an hour, 45 minutes. If the stream doesn't fail, like it's usually been doing. Yeah, and if some topic comes up you want to discuss, just throw it in the chat. Add it to the list if we have time. Moderation applies. Yeah, 1 gigabit networking project is starting to be in real time that we have this chats. Well, this the live stream, it's wrapping it up. Finishing the last video on the subject. It's going to include some, the last final steps and then the final testing. Performance testing. Still got this endless debate about if we have a 1 gig connection or if it is a half a gig with our ISP. Technically speaking, I think we have a half a gig connection. Well, they're maintaining we have a 1 gig connection. Even if it's actually called a half a gig in the invoicing, but it's called something, this endless. Like I said before, it's called half a gig gold. Some kind of a weird contract. And they're maintaining it's the most cost-effective contract. But I don't know. I'd still like to see it 1 gig. But anyway, I will solve that later. I don't really have a desperate need for 1 gig. Have the 1 gig internet connection. But I think it would be cool to have. I mean, we have like fiber, and this is 1 gig capable. So. And they're telling us, yeah, in one of the emails they actually maintained that we had a 1 gig connection. Not technically. Even though the infrastructure we have can handle 1 gig, there's no problem. We have fiber to the house, so there's really no issue with that. Anyway, now that I've finished this Ethernet cabling in the house, and I also got it extended out to the garden shed studio, so I'll actually have a bit of that in the follow-up video. I bought a power over Ethernet tester device. And then I was thinking to use a Raspberry Pi 4 to simulate a PoE device. And then I found out that you need to buy a hat for the Raspberry Pi 4 before it actually is power over Ethernet capable, which I think was a bit sad, because in the specification it does say PoE. And actually the PoE, what it means is that the actual Ethernet jack is wired to take in the power over Ethernet pairs. But there's no electronics, so there's no voltage regulation. So you have to actually buy a hat, which costs quite a lot of money. I think it was like, oh, what was it, 40 US or something, if you want the branded version. So you can get it to work. I think that's just pretty ridiculous. Just gonna check the stats and see. So it says the stream health is excellent. That's nice to hear. Let's see if we got any. No, I haven't received up to the time the stream has been running. I haven't received any notifications of audio crashing or video performance being wrong, and we've been running now for over 5 minutes. How actually is theory, if I continue more systematically running live streaming, then the back office systems will tune themselves automatically to handle my traffic. Something I'm actually trying to. Oh, hey, this is my dog, Charles. Hey, Charles. He's wanting to have a little bit of my evening snack. There you go. No, come on. He always gets a bit. So, no, that wasn't cool. So I don't know. I'm still a little bit on the edge if I will or will not buy the PoE hat for the Raspberry Pi. A bit of a steep price, and there was some a little bit cheaper options. I don't know, but they're not Raspberry branded. Yeah. Oh, what else can we have to talk about? Yeah, this was one thing about device firmware updates and or software updates. I mean, if you have something like a PC, then it's kind of up. You know, it downloads the updates. If you have wireless or wired, it doesn't matter. Pretty much the same with an Xbox or a PlayStation. But when you get into other types of equipment, like an audio receiver or a TV, smart TV, my personal experience is that they really hate downloading firmware updates if you have a wireless connection. Lots of issues where, like our audio receiver, it theoretically tries to install firmware updates over the air, but through the wireless connection, it fails very often on a consecutive basis, and then I've actually been solving it by running a separate cable to the audio receiver to let it download the upgrade through that. But now I don't have to care about that, because now I've put it on the Ethernet. So the upgrade went through. It had an upgrade pending, and that went through okay. And it was the same with the TV. So the TV had an upgrade, firmware update pending, and that went through without a problem. So there's still a job for companies to make to get the firmware updating working if you have wireless only. Most of them really would like to just have that Ethernet cable. Just as a little bit of a hint to the community out there. Yeah. Yeah, then I have like lots of different batteries, normal batteries too. Running the family, and then for my own hobbies and stuff. You get a pile of batteries, and you don't really know if they're good or bad, or sometimes you swap out stuff and you don't keep them separated from the new ones. So I bought a battery tester, Full B3 Universal LCD battery tester, and it didn't work out of the box. It was the LCD display wasn't working correctly. So the first thing I had to do was to fix it. So I made a video about it. I'll be releasing it some weeks. Well, that was it might have been that it got knocked around in transport. Yeah, as I said, with 4K streaming, this is another streaming test. How much am I streaming now? It's like 50,000 kilobits per second on this stream. Yeah, that's a lot of data going up. And that's why I have this internet infrastructure, so I can actually send this stuff out. And I'm just hoping that it would be a bit more reliable. And that's also one of the goals with putting in the Ethernet, is that I'm hoping it will stabilize the live streaming stability. So that at least it will have nothing to do with my house. So I go from the streaming PC right directly out. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of views on the channel lately, and but the number of views hasn't translated into subscribers. Actually, one of my statistical anomalies, which I've always been battling with, is that when my viewer count goes to new records, it very seldom leads to the similar effect on the number of subscribers. Actually, I have the complete opposite, that when my viewer count is reducing, or sometimes even when it's crashing, I get like lots of subscribers. so I don't know, my statistical brain, you would think like more people, more subscribers, but it doesn't seem to be that way. It seems like more people, less subscribers, or you don't get so many subscribing. Like the volume of people subscribing goes down. And this I've seen not only once, I've seen it several times in a row. So when I see the viewer count going through the roof, then I don't really get that excited, because okay, you get views, you get watch time, but you don't, potentially it doesn't translate into a significant increase in subscriber count. I don't know if other YouTube channels have noticed this. Yeah, so anyway, to end the Ethernet installation, I have invested in enjoying a bit of whiskey. So you can just see I've got some Bowmore 15-year-old in, sadly only in 4K, since I can't actually offer you any. If you were a legible age and like whiskey. Yeah, I'm not sponsored. I just happen to like single malt whiskey. Yeah, India's still driving views. So now India is the top country in the statistics, which is quite interesting. It has surpassed both United Kingdom and the United States. Yeah. So anyway, I got quite a lot of plans for the future here. So I'm trying to keep to the to trying to improve and make these live streams like somewhat weekly events. But then I would actually like to have some reasonable content for the live stream. I wouldn't, it's kind of, yeah, just to have a live stream. I mean, that's why I haven't actually scheduled it or published it or said anything about a specific schedule for live streams, because I kind of don't want to have a live stream if there's nothing to talk about. It kind of feels like a waste. So I might actually run it bi-weekly, so you know, if there isn't enough subject matter for 1 week, then after 1 week, then I'll just delay it and do it in the week after, and then like collect up subjects. And I would like to keep it to like a half an hour, 45 minutes. And not do these marathon live streams like some YouTubers do, where you know, the live stream is for like 2 hours. There's no, I find it really difficult to hang in if I don't just keep it on the side and doing something else to actually follow it for 2 whole hours. Man, that stuff's good. Pity it's so expensive. Now it's probably gonna get even more expensive with Brexit. Yeah. Why did I close that? I thought I had it. Looks like I closed that window. Sorry, just looking for my list. Oh, there it is. Just a sec. Yeah, that's right. Stop one. Yeah, going to continue releasing the multi-material upgrade videos. There'll be another one coming out Tuesday next week. I hope that'll be of usefulness to. It seems to be like a small ticking volume of people that are interested in 3D printer build videos. And that's my idea, that's why I separate them into parts and then put them online as a playlist, because then, you know, my idea is that people can like jump into the section that they're most interested in and watch that on. And that strategy seems to be working quite well. There seems to be quite a lot of interest on the multi-material build, and that I can understand. Not everybody's invested in that. Conclusion, battery, PoE tester. I'll put that down. Then I'll throw out a few videos about unboxing some of these switches. I'll do that a separate video. Well, I like the Netgear switches. They're quite well mechanically built, and actually in my personal experience, the receivers in them are quite good. So if you watch some of my the Ethernet installation videos, then they were the only ones that actually worked over the corrupted Ethernet linkage. Where other brands were like failing. At least Netgear could pick up a link. The other routers, other switches couldn't. Yeah, and then I have a few more interesting videos. Gaming PC, bringing it back from the dead link or video. run through so many topics. Already 20 minutes gone and I've ran through all the topics we have. As I said, one should actually just gather more topics to make some sanity of this. And I was thinking of trying to get some kind of an interview thing going also. Maybe team up with some other YouTuber or so. I was thinking of doing a live stream with my son because he's into gaming. Maybe we could have a competition or something. Well, I'm not really that practiced on gaming. Oh, what does he play? He plays. Oh, I really need to catch up on what my son plays. I think it's some of the more popular online shooter games. Yeah. Oh, come on. There should be some more subjects that one could come up with. Now we could discuss whiskey, but I don't know if really lots of people are into that. Man, Bowmore is really... I mean, whiskey or single malt whiskey is a very much of a personal issue. Some people like it, some people don't. And then what specific type of whiskey one likes when it comes to that. I mean, some people like bourbons and some people like Scottish single malt. Yeah. Oh, it's really a nice thing to have on a... We're getting much more colder weather now. It's moving into the seriously into the fall. Leaves are falling off the trees and it's getting darker and it's been raining. Oh man, I was gonna do so much stuff outside. I was thinking of doing some more of this like fall cleanup stuff. It was just like raining. Oh, no thank you, like 2 Celsius. Didn't really. Been messing around with FreeCAD, but I've been watching a few, several FreeCAD training videos, picking out some more details about how FreeCAD works and how it doesn't work. Yeah, if one had all the time in the world, one could spend a lot of time on lots of different software packages. I like to actually build some electronic circuit boards, and I have actually EagleCAD installed. I'll make a project to that. I don't really have an issue of thinking up content for the channel. You know, like the Tech Rabbit indicates, you know, like digging into different technology areas. I think the main key thing is that there isn't enough time to do everything of interest. I kind of like to do like everything. Could just like get into flight simulators and all kinds of different programming languages, and databases, and virtualization solutions, and server solutions. But there is one good thing about having a physical Ethernet network. Now I can actually, I could actually set up servers anywhere in the house, because now they can actually join to a gigabit backend. Yeah, that's one thing we could discuss. And now, of course, when, as I discussed before, when you put in the gigabit Ethernet and you basically you do Cat6 cabling throughout, or you could even do less. But let's say I've done Cat6, basically that's the basics, level 668. Then you can run power over Ethernet on that cabling, or you can actually increase the speed of the Ethernet. So you can go in like steps. So you can have like a 2 gig upstream, or you can jump to 10 gigs. And the only thing stopping me is the price of the switches. They're still too expensive. But they will come down, like the 1 gig switches did. They were 1 gig switches when they came out originally. They were way too expensive. There was no way a consumer could possibly afford that type of equipment, and now you can get them for like cheapest ones are like, I don't know, $20 for 5 ports, or if you want an 8-port one, you'd like $60. And give it a few more years, and it'll be like 2.5 gig equipment will be in the same price range, quite certain. Or they'll even just jump to 10 gig. So once that equipment starts to be available, then I will upgrade some parts of them. I was thinking I'll upgrade some parts of the network. But then of course, like 2 gigs, 10 gigs, that's still very much like for in-house use. I mean, I think getting a 10 gig internet connection, I suppose one shouldn't laugh at it. I mean, the speeds of the internet connections have gone up too. I mean, if you have fiber into the house, then theoretically speaking, handling 10 gigs to the houses, it's not an impossible thought. But basically it'll be in-house traffic. It'll be basically supporting going up in the video resolution, like 4K video and 8K video production. Yeah, I mean, I have 4K capable camera equipment. Like this webcam is 4K capable, and I have a camera that I can do full 4K, unlimited time. And but I did a one production where I just took hours of 4K video, and I just found out that I don't have the back end to process it really. Not hours of clips to process. I can't do that with the workstation I have. Or one can, but it's not 100% practical. So I have to wait until I upgrade my infrastructure, processing infrastructure, or editing infrastructure, before it becomes really realistic. I mean, I can do 4K, like on the production side, I can run 4K if I make my normal length videos, and I can edit them also on the workstation without too much problems. But not those. If I'm ever gonna make a production where it's like for hours of video, then I have to probably default to, even on the production side, I'm gonna have to default to full HD. So, yeah. But stuff gets faster, stuff gets cheaper, so maybe someday. And then of course 8K someday. And this is the issue, that I'm not on the cutting edge of like video resolution production, so I won't be the first guy going out and buying 8K. But if it happens, which will of course always happen, that technology gets cheaper. If 8K is available in 3 years for the same price, you can pick up 4K equipment or whatever, then why not? I mean, then one just gets the camera that can do 8K or 12K or whatever. It doesn't matter. And then one just opts to either run it with that production level or just downgrades it so that it samples at 12K. Yeah. Well, I'm actually quite happy with the infrastructure I have. If you follow some of the videos I have, then you'll see what equipment I have. I've been eyeing to upgrade the lighting to purely LED based. That's more because I would be able to make the lighting more portable, even for outside use, so that I can just have battery pack driven lighting. So I can just plug in battery packs and have the lighting outside. Because we have quite a long season of darkness here, so sometimes it would be useful to be able to take lights like independent of having cabling and stuff. So I could actually have a camera that's not cable connected, and then lighting that's not cable connected, and just take it and set it up somewhere. Oh, I forgot to set up the audio monitor. I don't really know if the audio is going out very well. Yeah, and if one makes live streams and you want, I wait for YouTube to process it. It takes a long time for YouTube to process this stuff. When it to process it to full HD actually on YouTube, it takes a real long time. Well, I'm still chugging away at 50,000 kilobits per second. The stream has stayed excellent all the time, so that's actually positive. I haven't had a single dropout of, or let's see, nope. This time I have received absolutely no messages of the stream going down in quality. Not audio or video, and that's actually quite impressive. As I said, that I don't know, I think the backend infrastructure learns somehow in an odd way. So if I keep on semi-systematically pushing the stream from this IP address, then I think maybe the infrastructure upstream will learn this profile, and then it will recognize it the next time it comes. I mean, this is what modern switches do. They learn from the traffic. They're not just dumb boxes that chuck a package. I mean, the only ones that are so dumb to a certain extent are the switches that I have, because they're like $20 or $60, $70 switches. So that they don't really have that much smart stuff in. But I mean, the upstream switches, they pretty much have a little bit more powerful capabilities to analyze traffic and make and know, and also have a historical memory of traffic. So maybe the systems upstream will learn that there's quite often a live stream coming from this address. Well, it's like 50,000 kilobits per second, and then they will automatically be able to route it. I actually don't know the RTMP server that I'm streaming to. The default address I should actually ping it and DNS name, look up it to find out where is that located, because they actually they have two they have a backup stream URL, and I don't know which is which. I mean, where they're like geographically located. So if for example the stream is getting sent to the US, which I actually seriously doubt, then it's not a very good thing. So I was going to do some investigation as to where the RTMP stream ends up going, because that of course would explain why it would be unstable if it was sending it all the way from where I am, if it was sending it all the way to the US to be picked up into the YouTube infrastructure or Google data center infrastructure. Well, no, I must say I'm happy. Of course, I don't know what the quality of the stream is before I actually, close down the stream and then to actually let it process it to HD, which actually can take a whole day for it to process it into full HD. Yeah. Still playbacks is one, no concurrent viewers, just talking to myself. Well, it's actually quite nice talking to myself also. I mean, these videos, they end up being uploaded anyway, so people can watch them at their leisure. And as I said, that I can just blame myself because I haven't been making these live streams into a systematic, pre-announced happening. I don't know why I would, because basically doing it all by myself and stuff and having no counterpart and it's sometimes really hard to come up with subjects. And then anyway, rambling on just for the, I mean, just to keep a systematic place in time, and then not having anything to talk about. I don't know if that's really worth it. I like doing live streams when there's actually some topics I can cover. Yeah. Anyway, I have a nice backlog of videos to release. All of them produced, but not finalized. So I need to do some video editing on most of them, but they usually don't take that long to do. There's lots of channels that when they're on these like YouTube consultancy live sessions and stuff. Oh, well, I can't think of what to produce. I have no video ideas. I mean, it's just like, how can you not have video ideas? I've got like so many video ideas. I haven't even got a lifetime enough time to produce them all. So that's the least of my problems, is to actually have ideas about what to produce. So I suppose one should be happy about. My only constraints is time and money, and some of it's knowledge. Well, I'm very much prepared to learn new things. So knowledge can usually be solved by Google search. So, this, I don't know when it says concurrent viewers, if that's actually me, because I'm actually watching it on YouTube Studio Live. I've always been a bit confused if that's me or if it is actually another viewer. I've never got any, when I've been asking for somebody to put it in the chat, then there's never ever been a comment in chat. So I'm actually still considering it's counting me as a viewer, as a concurrent viewer. It's strange one can go from a situation where things have been so unstable to a relatively stable situation when it comes to the live stream. Yeah, shows you that you need to be persistent to get things to work. Anyway, that's what I thought I'd do for this live stream. As I said, half an hour, 40 minutes is about the limit I'd like to have for these. And I'll be back next week if there's enough topics. If not, then I'll push it off for another week. And then, of course, I mean, if anybody has any suggestions what they would like to have a live stream about, or include it onto the topic list, then just send a comment. I'm available on Facebook, Instagram, the usual, Twitter, the usual places. Or you can just add a comment to one of my videos on YouTube. I can also pick it up. So, anyway, I'll see everybody next week, or the week after.